Tara Costa, I wouldn't ask for anything more. Tara Costa proved herself to be fiercely competitive and determined on the show. She remembers a time not long ago when her attitude was completely different. Costa became a plus-size model at 13. By her early 20s she had started gaining weight and was dropped from her modeling agency. As a recent graduate of New York University, things spiraled out of control, she said. Her job in finance was demanding and required long hours. She threw herself into work and stopped paying attention to her health. I let my professional career take over my health and well-being, she said. Costa said she was embarrassed and ashamed of her weight gain and changed her lifestyle accordingly. She stopped taking trips to visit friends because she didn't want them to see how she looked. She was also afraid of having to buy a seatbelt extender on flights. The downward cycle continued as she took solace in eating. The only thing that comforted me was food, she said. Sitting on her couch with ice cream and cookies, she watched the season 5 finale of The Biggest Loser while bawling my eyes out, she said. But something had changed. Instead of sinking deeper into her unhappiness, she thought, if they can do it, so can I, she said. The next day she went to her local gym and signed up. She also applied online to be a contestant on the show. Before the show, Costa said she could barely get up the subway stairs, much less exercise. She would enter her office building dripping sweat after her commute, she said. She is proud of herself and the huge change she's made in both her looks and her attitude. I love my experience on the show, she said. I wouldn't ask for anything more. Helen Phillips, from a size 22 to a 2. The Biggest Loser's contestant Helen Phillips said she knew what her more youthful competitors were thinking. They never considered me a threat, they just looked at me and said, you know what? She's 48, she's never going to make it. And that's just the way she wanted it. Helen, the retired retail manager who showed up at the ranch at 257 pounds, went from a size 22 to a size 2. Lucky for me. I kept my mouth shut and flew low under the radar, said Helen, sounding jubilant despite just 3 hours of sleep. She said she struggled at times during the season when she lost challenges to younger, stronger players. Helen said her decision to lay low was her only foray into gameplay. The rest was old-fashioned hard work and, cliched as it might sound, starting to believe in herself. She said that when she got to the Biggest Loser ranch, she couldn't blame anyone for dismissing her. I never believed in myself in the beginning either. But when she made that decision, when she said, I'm tired of doubting myself, something clicked. The minute I started doing that, things changed for me. While many of the season's contestants struggled to continue losing weight after they were sent home from the ranch, Helen excelled. She worked out a jaw-dropping 6 hours a day doing old-school workouts. She'd wake up at 4:30 in the morning, hit the gym for 2 hours, go back for 2 hours midday, and then back again at IM at the end of the day for 2 more hours. In between, plenty of good food and rest. It paid off. I was concentrating on finishing my journey. Next up for Helen, a whole new life. Helen said she wants to open a spinning and wellness center and become a motivational speaker, focusing on men and women of a certain age or those who fear they are too busy with family obligations. One downside to the large amount of weight loss is loose skin, particularly in the chest. She said she would not rule out surgery, but first she is going to apply the same tried-and-true tactics that got her this far. To date, she had focused on losing weight. Now she will focus on toning and building muscle strength and see where that leaves her before she makes any other decisions.